Here is the latest from Allen. A shooter killed 8 people and injured 7 more. Children are among the victims. The suspect, who witnesses said was dressed in all black, is also dead, taken down by an officer, according to police. The mall is now a massive crime scene where police, the FBI, and the ATF are investigating. Allen Premium Outlets is a sprawling shopping center on West Stacy Road, just off Highway 75. It's really one of the busiest spots in Allen. WFAA's Chris Lawrence is in tonight to anchor our coverage. Chris, this awful shooting happened around 3:30 this afternoon. Here we are 7 hours later, and the scene where you are remains active.
It is. You still have police officers here collecting some evidence here and there, but overall it is eerily quiet. And when you hear those numbers and hear the account of what happened, it truly doesn't do justice to the amount of fear and anxiety that it produced here at, like you said, one of the premier shopping malls or shopping areas in North Texas. I want to give you an idea of where we're standing right now. If you pan over there, see the H&M store right there. All of this happened right on the other side of that wall. That is where just about everything happened. Again, it is relatively quiet here now, but I want to give you a look from on high, from the chopper from earlier, to give you sort of a bird's eye view of what was happening here as this took place. You can just see the amount of people just pouring out of the mall. We heard accounts of people huddling together at American Eagle, of trying to cover their children at the Converse store, looking for anywhere in the backs of stores where they could take cover. People talking about they heard shots coming out in such a rapid succession that a lot of people thought, were there fireworks going off before they realized what was happening? It has been an incredibly emotional day, and when some of the city and county officials came to the podium in the last hour or so, you could tell how connected they are to this community when they talked about what happened. Here's Police Chief Brian Harvey.
We're all saddened by this event today, this tragic event today. At 3:36, our officer was at Allen Premium Outlets on an unrelated call. He heard gunshots, located the gunshot, located the shooter, neutralized the shooter, neutralized the threat. We believe at this point that the shooter acted alone. We are asking for the public's help. If you are a witness, if you have any video, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. This is an ongoing, active investigation.
Well, if you're wondering why they still want to hear witness accounts, why they want to see as much video as possible, because we know the shooter is dead, but everything they can learn about what happened here will not only help inform the Allen Police Department, but police departments across this country as they tweak their response to active shooter events like this one. Because unfortunately, as we all well know, this will not be the last time that officers are called to respond to something like this. What they want to see are different angles, where the shooter was, where the victims were, what witnesses were able to see. We have some new video that's just coming into the newsroom that we want to show you, but I do want to warn you, you will hear the sound of the gunshots, and it is jarring to hear. Again, you can see just the chaos there as people ran around trying to figure out exactly where the gunfire was coming from, where they could find cover, trying to protect a lot of the children who were here shopping on a Saturday afternoon. I wanted to toss over to my colleague, Tiffany Liu. She's on the other side of the Allen Premium Outlets. And she's been talking to a lot of the shoppers who described what it was like when all this happened. Tiffany?
Yeah, Chris, I got here shortly after the incident happened, and it was still extremely chaotic when I arrived. I saw folks running, and I talked to so many of them who gave me their perspective. And like you mentioned earlier, this is still very much an active investigation. Where I'm standing right now, it was filled with people along this sidewalk just right outside of the Allen Premium Outlets, and all those folks were waiting for their cars, but they won't be able to access it tonight. Many of them had to actually get Ubers and ride shares to take and find their way home, because this is all part of the investigation right now. But I want you guys to listen to some of their perspectives. It's the story of another mass shooting,
I was at the mall shopping and there was an active shooter.
this time at Allen Premium Outlets.
Multiple people died.
Shoppers, on a Saturday afternoon,
Heard 10, 15 more shots go off.
had to hide, run, and fear for their lives. We spoke to many people.
There was a lot, yeah.
With parallel perspectives. Inside a store looking out,
There's this guy dressed in all black, wearing a vest, has an assault rifle, and he's just shooting at people.
Cole Korchak says they barricaded in the back
It was fight or flight.
with no time to think.
People were running because the shooters were there.
10 and 9-year-old Alexa and Jade Martinez, with their parents, did what they practice at school.
I felt scared. She felt scared a lot. I felt scared too.
When the gunshots finally stopped,
I seen the shooter. It was an active shooter. I seen him when I was walking out. He had on a vest and some Chuck Taylors.
Aaron Fleming saw the shooter was dead.
Dad, I just want to let you know I'm all right.
So much relief, yet so much pain for the victims hurt or killed.
A couple people down, and on the way out, there was a couple people down, and the actual shooter was down as well.
What they witnessed, they won't forget.
It's just not fair. Not fair for anyone.
The story of another mass shooting,
This is the world that we live in right now.
this time in Allen, Texas. I'm Tiffany Lee. Now, a lot of people have questions about who this shooter was, but tonight I don't want to focus on who the shooter was. I want to focus on who the victims were. We know that 8 people have died because of this senseless crime, and 7 more are still in the hospital recovering, some in critical surgery. For now, let's send it back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Tiffany, you know, obviously a lot of times when the adrenaline starts to wear off after you've experienced something like this, the adrenaline wears off, and that's when that deep emotional trauma really starts to set in. It will be something that a lot of these people, even the survivors, will be trying to process over the days, weeks, months to come. Teresa, I'll send it back to you for now.
Absolutely, Chris, and it's just so jarring and so heartbreaking to see the fear and the panic on those shoppers' faces, the children that we could see there in Tiffany's story, just trying to run to safety, running for their lives. Chris, we appreciate your coverage. We'll see you again in just a few minutes.